Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Melrose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Monday, April 25, 2022. Sun in Taurus and a waning crescent moon in Aquarius making ingress to Pisces early this morning. We express ourselves by harnessing the power of our material resources to create security, and we have this inner drive to relax, play, dream, and create. Now is the time to attend our relationships to ourselves, to our loved ones, and to spirit. The waning crescent moon points our attention and emotional labor in the direction of decrease, simplifying our lives by actively releasing attitudes and dispositions that have gotten in our way, letting go of ideals that no longer serve us, and actively pushing out all the stuff and things also that are weighing us down. Sun in Taurus is a time when we use our physical resources to our best advantage to create a sense of stability in our lives. Think of this like putting your sprouted seeds in a pot with rich soil to watch them grow and giving them sunlight and water so that they can grow strong. We make it our purpose at this time to draw in the best materials for our own security and expansion. Uranus and Mercury are also in Taurus at this time. We seek positive outcomes right now surrounding our sense of security in cooperation with creative change. I'm going to get right into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key, so if you desire a point of reference, it's right here. I've otherwise divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects that the moon makes are all very brief, and they have a subtle impact on those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but may choose whether to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is the outward expression of yourself in the world, specifically in your work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because these have a bigger influence on that outward expression. We begin on the moon side today at 5:14 a.m. Central Standard Time, friends. Moon makes ingress to Pisces. Moon in Pisces is the end of a cycle, a time to reflect on how things have gone and attend your relationship to others and to spirit. This transit lasts 2.5 days. Then at 7:51, it says a.m., but I have a hard time believing it. Oh, at 1:51 a.m. Forgive me, guys. Friends, the moon goes conjunct to Mars. Aries, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are going to notice this. The aspect can have us feeling really into ourselves as physical beings. The internal resources that come out at this time are strength, courage, and an undeniably sexy feeling. Don't forget that Mars is currently transiting Pisces with the moon, Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune. These vibes are all mingled together, and they make for confident, loving, and creative functioning for the inner life overall. On the sun side today, sun goes trine to the moon, or sextile to the moon actually, at 3:08 this afternoon. Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Pisces for this aspect points to the waning crescent phase of the moon and symbolically indicates cooperative functioning between our outer and inner lives. In our efforts to release what no longer serves us, we can be especially effective at this time. In the ongoing column, today is the final full day for Jupiter conjunct Neptune to bring down these special amplified blessings of positivity, fertility, creative growth. Pisces and Sagittarius have ruling planets right here. But let's not forget that Venus and Mars are also in Pisces, so Aries, Taurus, and Scorpio may have been especially influenced. I would be surprised if anybody didn't notice the expanded creativity that has been coming in. Jupiter has been present and emphasized in its efforts to show us how we can continue to expand ourselves as people by seeking expanded experiences. Sometimes it feels risky, scary, or even embarrassing to put oneself out on a limb and say, I see more for myself than this. If I were writing my own story, I'd pursue this dream that possibly no one even knows that I have. But Jupiter is also supportive. It's a bit like a mother bird having fed and cared well for their chicks, eventually pushing them out of the nest, insisting, yes, you can fly because I've made you this way. We won't be pushed into anything we truly aren't ready for, but Jupiter somehow and often has a way of knowing that we're ready before we ourselves know. Neptune has also been present and again emphasized in its efforts to remind us that we are but tiny pieces of something much bigger and more complex than our individual selves, that everything is connected, and that the whole of being has its own processes in which we all play a part. These energies have been amplified under pressure. That's what conjunct is. And they are also in their home sign of Pisces. They're sending us vibes of expansion and connection. Expansion and connection, offering us enhanced opportunities to move past the perception of our apparent separation in pursuit of that spacious understanding that all is one, inviting us to tune into the natural rhythms of Earth and the real cosmos, to find peace there, joy, friendship, and the security of knowing our connection to the earth we tread, the air we breathe, the water we use, and the food that we eat. Sun square Pluto is also in its last day. And I just want to thank Sun square Pluto for putting a spotlight on the fact that we have to work to transform. It takes attention and effort, and I have appreciated that reminder. Mercury sextile Neptune came in yesterday and will be with us through the 29th. Gemini, Virgo, Pisces. This aspect may find us in a more spiritual or creative mindset at this time. Your plans and conversations regarding your connection to spirit and your dreams of self-expression are likely to bear good fruit. Mercury square Saturn sneaks in here for a few days, bringing up the requirement of mental labor with some challenges to communicating what it is that we're working on without facing negative feedback. Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aquarius may especially feel this. Some of the things we're working on may be better dealt with alone. Save the expression of these thoughts and plans for when they are better formed, once you've put it all together. Sometimes, like if you want to rob a bank and you want to approach your friends about robbing a bank, you better have a plan. Please don't rob any banks. Mercury sextile Venus will be with us through the 11th of May. And this has been bringing in these positive and cooperative vibes between our intellect and our ability to attract what we need and desire. Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra have ruling planets right here. I would also include Pisces because Venus is in Pisces. At this time, we're empowered to negotiate the terms by which we receive affection, attention, and compensation. I encourage you to take advantage of this energetic opportunity, especially with this expansion and connection that came in, all this extra creativity and sense of connection to ourselves and to other people and to sort of the all of everything. It's a good time to talk about your needs and desires as they have expanded. This Thursday, Mercury is going to make a trine with Pluto that will last a couple of weeks, bringing ideal functioning to our thoughts and conversations about the transformations we're undergoing. And I just noticed I didn't write anything about the Venus conjunct Neptune that's coming up tomorrow, but I guess we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. See, Jupiter and Neptune are just leaving their conjunct. They're still both in Pisces together. Venus is also in Pisces and approaching Neptune sort of from the other side. So Venus is going to conjunct Neptune and then conjunct Jupiter, and that's some big stuff right there. Venus conjunct Neptune is going to be about our receptivity to messages from spirit, to blessings from spirit. Pluto kicks off our retrograde season this year on Friday, and Mercury is going to make ingress to its home sign, Gemini, on the same day. We'll see that new moon in Taurus next Saturday when we begin again to plan for the future. And next Sunday brings the beginning of solar Beltane, the midpoint celebration between spring equinox and summer solstice. So this is when things really start to heat up. I hope they start to heat up. And it's funny that I say that because, you know, I live in the South and the heat can be sweltering during the summer, but we've had this kind of long, mostly cold and rainy spring. So I'm looking forward to more sunshine even than we've had, although I'm grateful for what we've gotten in terms of sunshine and rain. Okay, that's it for today's astrology. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like my videos, subscribe, click the notifications bell. I post here every day and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And friends, I appreciate it so much when you comment to ask questions or provide encouragement. I see you doing that, and you all are great. I am grateful for you. It isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening, but it lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that helps me out a lot as well. Also, if you know anyone else for whom this guidance may resonate, I encourage you to share. Now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about tarot as it relates to astrology today. First, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology before throwing a random card that hopefully speaks to today's energies. So let's go ahead and get into that. The tarot card that sits on the side of the page right now is the Five of Pentacles, and it's there because it corresponds to the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Taurus. We are in the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Taurus, so this is the card that will come up for that period of time every time. Five of Coins, or Five of Pentacles. First of all, I want to say Pentacles are about the earth element. And so Taurus is also very much about the earth element. Taurus is our fixed earth. So, you know, like I said, it's the part that sort of harnesses the power of our resources to keep us in motion. So Five of Pentacles... Pentacles is about our physical resources, and you know, it's easy to say that's about your money, but it's also about your health. Okay, it's about your personal well-being, your body, and how the body is working. Okay, so we see a couple of people in this picture that seem to be sort of out in the cold. One person is walking apparently without shoes on their feet in the snow, and another person is walking on crutches. So this is very much pointing to not just physical lack, but you know, of resources, but also lack of I guess, you know, a positive expression of our physical being, or an ideal for ourselves expression of our physical being. So, you know, when we are struggling with our health, and also when we are struggling with a lack of resources, either way we put our own physical health in danger. And this is why we collect resources to ourselves, right? So that we can be maintained in the physical style that we like to be maintained. We are physical bodies living in a physical world. So we very much, you know, need certain resources, right? We need shoes on our feet if we live in a place where it snows. And, you know, we also need financial support. We need to have a financial income as well. So, you know, these people are out in the cold. They're walking past a building that clearly has resources. And so this is also, you know, this is an acknowledgement. Sometimes we're in a state of lack. Sometimes we're in a state of insecurity or need. That can feel pretty desperate. And let's not be too proud to ask for help, okay? Because the resources are out there. There is enough of everything for everybody. So don't fool yourself into thinking that the things that you need are things that you don't deserve because you haven't been able to do the work to resource them for yourselves, okay? If there's something that you need, go and get it. Go and ask for it if you can't provide it for yourself, if you can't somehow pay for it for yourself, or, pull it out of the ground yourself, then it's time to swallow your pride, become humble, and ask for what it is that you need. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some cards. Well, I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Taurus with Uranus and Mercury. So we're going through some shifts and changes in our ability to get grounded in the familiar. Our idea of what is familiar or what can be familiar or what we would like to be familiar is changing and has been expanding. So, we're having some conversations about, what we used to need, but what we also need now. We're having some conversations about how everything costs more. And so we're going to need to make more money, or, everything, or just the things that we have are not satisfactory for us, and that we need to, become grounded in something that's a little more inspiring and that helps us feel as though we are growing in strength. The moon, the crescent moon in Pisces most of the day. This is a waning crescent moon, so it's about clearing out the clutter, getting our space clean, and clearing off the table, so to speak, so that we can bring fresh work to it, so that we can bring fresh creations to it. So clear out the clutter, and also Pisces is the end of the lunar cycle. So Pisces, this 2.5 days, is a time when we sort of reflect and play. You can do that in a grounded way that is focused on, having the resources that you need. But it's a good time to relax, reflect, play, recreate. And then on the sun side of the page, today we had that sun sextile moon, which points to the waning crescent moon and just says, we're the most cooperative and effective right now as we work to release the stuff that no longer is going to serve us in our ability to create what we want to be going forward. Jupiter conjunct Neptune, expansion and connection, realizing our part of the greater whole, realizing that, we have a small part to play, and also I think feeling our connection and feeling and getting interested and invested of the natural cycles of things that are bigger and more complex than us can really help us feel as though we belong, and that we're getting what we want out of life in terms of experience. Sun square Pluto. Keep your eyes on what you want from life as an experience. Keep your eyes on the transformation, the person you're trying to become. That requires attention and effort if you want it to go well. And then we have these 3 Mercury aspects ongoing at different lengths. Mercury sextile Neptune is a very spiritual and creative mindset. I'd be interested to hear what y'all are bringing down in terms of fresh creations or fresh ideas about your connection to humanity, or your connection to the earth, or your connection to the cosmos or to spirit, however you want to put that. Because we're having plans and we're having conversations and making plans about it now. And, spirit is a community thing, really. So I'm interested to hear what kind of conversations you might be having about it. Mercury square Saturn has us doing some mental labor, though, to maintain support. And, I think this kind of harkens back to that Venus sextile Uranus that we had recently, that was like, I'm expanding and changing my mind about what it is that I need to bring in order to feel supported. This Mercury square Saturn is also about how we feel supported, how we stabilize ourselves by stabilizing our foundations and our networks. And, that square is not meant to hold us up or stop us so much as it is to pull us forward or to bring us into action regarding, what we have to think about, what kind of plan we have to make in order to maintain our stability. Mercury sextile Venus, talk about your needs and desires. That's part of what you have to do to maintain your personal spirit, your personal stability. And we had a couple of we have a lunar transit into Pisces, and then we have this conjunct with Mars. So, coming into tomorrow morning, we should be feeling very cooperative. We should be feeling confident and bold. Hopefully, that's a good way to wake up. And with all of that said, the Nine of Wands, defending your reputation is what I see here a lot of the time. I often liken the wands to sort of trophies in the case, and when you get to the Eight of Wands, you've got momentum. You've got all this experience behind you, and you've got all these sort of not just experiences but achievements behind you, and so you can just keep pushing forward. You're like, yes, I know how to do this, and you're moving forward. And the Nine of Wands is like, yes, I know how to do this. I stood all these trophies up in this case all on my own. This is my most recent trophy. Ain't it grand? But it's a bit of a defensive position. If you see closely, this person looks a little bit beat up. They've got what might look like bandages on their hands and on their across their brow, right? You've had to work pretty hard to gain all of these achievements. It's good to stand by your reputation. It's good to stand by your achievements, but understand that what has happened in the past, what you have created of yourself in the past, yes, it's something to be proud of, and it's something to stand by, and it's something to defend if you absolutely must defend yourself. But also look forward into the future. See the Ten of Wands and how clinging to those old achievements can blind you and keep you from seeing the way forward. Okay, so stand by your reputation, stand by your experiences for sure, because experience is the great teacher, is it not? And you can say, yes, I know for certainty that this is what we're going to do because this is what my experience is. But also understand that the past does not actually dictate what's going to happen in the future. Okay, so we have to keep looking out. We have to keep that strong lookout for who it is that we're trying to become. And, that is not just the current amalgamation of all the things that we've already done and achieved. Okay, there is more to do. There is more to achieve. And at a certain point, you're going to have to, forget about that trophy case and move forward and have some new experiences, right? 9 and then 10 is the end of the cycle. So after that, we want to become sort of newbies. We want to go out and have fresh passions, and we want to have fresh spark and drive to do new, wonderful things, to create something beautiful and new. And taken in context with the Five of Coins, especially don't defend your reputation, especially don't defend your record or, polish your trophies at a time when you are in need and require some help, okay? If you're in a defensive position because you are lacking something that you need, whether it be recognition or actual physical resources, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, actually. So, stand by your experience, but also know when to ask for help. I think that's all I have to say about it, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you for being here. My name is Mel Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.